What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40k. So of course we've got the epic news that Lion L. Johnson is returning to the current era of Warhammer 40k in Book 5 of the Arcs of Omen. So I'm super excited for that. So excited that I'm bringing back Grim Dark Battles, and I'm going to pit none other than Primarch versus Primarch, Guilliman versus the Lion, to see who's the better warrior in the lore and on the tabletop. In the lore, it's pretty much already decided. The Lion is a beast when it comes to combat. I would put him in my top 3 loyalist Primarchs for sure. Probably, I don't know. It's a toss-up between him and Leman Russ, but the number 1 is Sanguinius. There's no denying that Sanguinius is the best combatant. Dude went up against Kabanda, Angron, a Titan, held the Eternity Gate, and even continued on to fight by going up against Horus. So he did all this in a matter of hours. I don't think anybody can top that. But anyway, going to the topic of this video, one of our subscribers sent us a link to Chapter Master Valrak's video where he goes over the current lore for the Dark Angels, more specifically Cipher, in one of the novels, and there's some pretty crazy revelations here. So I'm basically going to be summarizing what the novel was talking about, because there's some pretty key points that do play to the narrative and do change up how we feel about the Dark Angels, the Fallen, and what exactly is going on with Cypher. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? What's going on here? So big props to Valrak. Let's continue on with this video. So basically what they're saying is that the Fallen fall into a few types of different factions within one another. There's the Fallen who are all about chaos, like there's no redemption for them. There's also Fallen that want to be redeemed by the Emperor, and there are Fallen who want to be redeemed by the Lion. And not just that, but for the most part they all follow the one person who holds the Lion Sword, and that is Cipher. So even though Lionel Johnson has returned to the fray, his sword that he carries is not the Lion Sword. It's a weapon that's pretty powerful, but it's not the Lion Sword. Yeah, so the weapon is called Fealty, and as strong as the weapon is, it's going to do damage, especially in the hands of the Lion. But obviously if the Lion had the Lion Sword, he would be wrecking stuff, even more so. However, talking about the sword, in the novel it states that the Lion Sword may not be what we think it is to be, because apparently it may not even be a sword, but a key. And this key is able to unlock a secret room, and that there's a high chance that Cipher is the one that awoke the Lion by unlocking his vault with the Lion Sword. So what does that mean? Because for the longest time we thought the Lion Sword is going to be like a sword capable of like rending away demons, giving things true death and whatnot. But that may not even be the key. That may not be the thing. It's the key. It might be a key or whatever. This might be the final key to the fragments that the Silver Key will be created through Vastor and the Arcs of Omen storyline and all that. But we'll just have to wait and see. Continuing on with the video, they also talk about how pretty much Cipher and a bunch of the Fallen are taken to none other than the Imperial Palace. They are put into the prisons underneath the palace. But of course, they don't just stay captive. They do end up breaking out because of none other than the loyalist Dark Angels. We know that the Dark Angels are obsessed with hunting the Fallen, so much so that they'll even go against the Imperium itself to take out these blemishes to their reputation. So yes, the Dark Angels essentially send some undercover Space Marines into the Imperial Palace to not only break out the Fallen, to take out the Fallen, and of course, in order to get there, they have to go through the defenses of Terra. So they're essentially attacking Terra. They're taking out the Custodes. They're taking out anybody in their way to essentially get the Fallen back into their own clutches. This is heresy in the utmost highest. Like, You're going up against the Custodes, you're fighting on sacred ground, and this is just something you don't do. But that's just how much secrecy, how much the inner circle, like Azrael and all the other chapter officials of the secret order are just, I don't know if you could say deranged. They've lost their wits, or maybe they think that this is how to really view themselves. Like, in order to fully comply under not just the Emperor, but also their chapter's morals, they have to hunt down the Fallen no matter what. So yeah, they do send an undercover team to kill the Fallen and to apprehend Cypher. However, there's also a little bit more to this, because obviously they don't want to get caught. They don't want to leave any evidence behind. So every Dark Angel that has gone into this mission has been equipped with essentially a plasma grenade vest, so that if push comes to shove and they're gonna fall in battle, they can detonate themselves and eradicate their body completely, leaving no evidence. So yeah, these guys mean business. They are not afraid to do what needs to be done, and it gets pretty crazy. So yeah, so they get in there, they end up freeing Cypher and a bunch of the Fallen, but of course they can't take out Cypher. Some of the Fallen do get let loose and escape, but in the end, Cypher ends up recovering the Lion Sword, which the Custodes took away from him. And not only that, but he ends up reaching the freaking throne room, the most heavily guarded place in the entire palace. He ends up going there, sneaking through the shadows, going through undetected, basically going under the cover of all this chaos and bloodshed going on around him. And his thoughts are to blow up the throne. But before he can do this, a heavily wounded Adeptus Custodes manages to catch up to Cypher, and just as he sees Cypher about to blow up the throne, the Custode keels over and falls, succumbing to his wounds. But even though he has died, he rises once more. He has gotten a vision from the Emperor himself, and it appears that the Emperor has blessed him with a miracle and revived the Custodes back to life. So the Custode then has a conversation with Cypher, basically speaking as the mouthpiece of the Emperor, and this allows Cypher to change his mind. We're unaware of what the Emperor or the Custodian says specifically to Cypher, but Cypher, who was hell-bent on destroying the throne, says there's nothing anybody can say or do to change his mind. Has his mind changed? So whatever it is that the Emperor told him, Cypher immediately leaves the room, and next thing we know, the Lion is out and about. So did the Emperor give him the order to free the Lion? Did the Emperor say something else regarding maybe the treachery of the inner circle? Who knows? But we kind of confer two things from this. Cypher is playing not just both sides of Loyalists and Chaos. I feel like he's playing towards the Emperor. Whatever it is that the Emperor wants or needs, Cypher is that fallen angel that will do what needs to be done. He'll get his hands dirty to accomplish the goals of the Emperor. And one of those goals was probably to awaken the Lion. So pretty crazy stuff here. As far as I know, this book isn't really easy to get your hands on. I think you could get it as like an audiobook or something like that. But very interesting stuff. What do you guys think? Like, is Cypher and the Fallen, are they chaos? Like, are they literally playing like almost like the same role as the Alpha Legion? Or is it just Cypher? What do you think of the Dark Angels sending in their own legionnaires to take out custodians and whatnot in order to get their hands on the Fallen? And is Azrael and the Inner Circle corrupted by chaos? Because, I mean, what right-minded loyalist Marine would do such a blemish, such a foul thing? Like, it's already bad enough that they think that the Fallen are, the scum of the earth. How could these come from our own chapter? But if they got caught sending in Space Marines to the Imperial Palace and killing Custodes, I feel like that's even worse than having Fallen. I don't know. Something's not right here. I still think Cypher's on the right, and the Fallen are kind of playing both sides, because that's kind of what the Emperor needs and what he has to do to accomplish his goals. But let me know what you guys think. Super heretical on the Dark Angel side, but the Lion's back. The Lion's sword is not actually a sword, but a key. Hopefully we get some more answers during the final book of Arcs of Omen, Book 5, The Lion. So we'll have to wait and see. Thanks again for watching. Stay subscribed for more things Warhammer 40k. Again, we've got Guilliman versus the Lion coming up soon, so I'll see you when that drops. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you in the next one.